Welcome to the DevPool show, the show where we talk about tips and tricks on how to become a successful developer. Today, we'll be reacting to Windows 11 features from software engineering perspective. After this video in the future, I'll be upgrading my old laptop. You can see the specs here on the screen. So if you're interested in to see how I'm gonna go about it and have fun in the process doing it, press the subscribe button now to get notified when the video has been uploaded. So yeah, let's talk about Windows 11 review. And before talking about Windows 11, they went from good, bad, good, bad. It's almost as if they're trying to make a beat, a song to it whenever they came up with the new operating systems. So let's hope that this Windows 11 is going to be a good OS. Like for me personally, if you're first time here, I'm personally a Windows user. With Windows 11, as I'm looking at it, it does look promising. So for instance, when I look at the design of it, they did make a few changes to it, few modifications. For example, right now our start menu kind of looks in the center by default. And of course, if you don't like that, if you want to move it back to the left, you can still do that. But what I'm trying to say is that they're trying to say that they're in the center of our ecosystem, of our user environment, which is like, okay. To me, as a developer, all what I'm looking at is, can I use the system for development? So little things like that, to me, they don't really matter, because as long as I can still compile my application, as long as I can still work with the system, that's all I care about it. And again, to me, I'm a software engineer. I'm not a designer. To me, whenever I make a button, it may look like a triangle. I don't know how. I'm an engineer, not a designer. And they have a new cool feature that Apple Android already has it, and that is a swipe feature. So if you have to swipe it, you'll be able to see all of your widgets in there that has been powered by AI. And as you keep on using it with time to time, it will be able to either predict on what it is that you need. So it will be able to give you information much better. Now, the next feature that they have is a snap layout. And if you're a person like me, if you have only one monitor, that layout or that feature may come very handy to you. What that feature does, it will allow you to arrange your windows in any way you like it. Now, to me as a developer, I do when I see my applications running simultaneously or when I see them side by side. So that is something that could be helpful. But at the same time, I do have different ways around it. So I'm not going to be downloading Windows 11 or upgrading to Windows 11 just because of that. Now, that takes me to the next feature, and that is Snap Groups. And to be honest, that is the feature that I will definitely use personally, because what it allows you to do is, once you have grouped all of your windows in a specific way that you like, and if I were to get some specific notification that requires my attention to it, of course, I will go to it. But then that means I've been distracted, or it means that I've been sidetracked by what I was doing. And what this snap group allows me to do is it will kind of group those applications together in the exact same way where I left them. And it will allow me to pretty much to go back to them once I'm done with whatever important task was. I'll be able to go back to my application layout in the exact same way I left them. So honestly, as a developer, I'll definitely do that, because I do get a lot of Slack notifications, a lot of different messages, and that requires my attention. And I do want to go back to those windows again in the exact same way where I left them. So that is definitely a good feature to have, to use. So that is something I do look forward to. So there are different users out there. There are users that are using PC like me. There are users that are using laptops, how I used to use. And sometimes whenever I do plug in my laptop to my monitor, I'll arrange my applications in a specific way. And when I do disconnect my monitor, plug back into my laptop, I will lose the setup I used to have with my applications. Now, the feature that they have introduced that is called Docker. It looked interesting, because if I were to plug back in my monitor to my laptop, the way I left off with my applications, they will be in the exact same way as I left them were. And I kind of like that feature, because I remember when I will have meetings, I'll have to disconnect, then going back again to my desk, those applications will be there in the exact same way. So that kind of sounds useful. That is something definitely that once I'll be using my laptop, I'll be definitely using that feature. So if you're a gamer like me, and by that I mean not a gamer, the only games I play is PUBG on my phone, or maybe Age of Empires. Sad life. But in any case, what HDR means first, it means a high dynamic range that allows for games to render a much wider range of brightness values and colors. So whenever you play different games, you'll see the brightness just pretty much goes from 0 to 100. Very, very noticeable. And there's something I'll definitely try out. Now, to me, as a software engineer, that feature, HDR, is not going to be as useful because, well, the code is code. As long as I can see it, that's fine by me. But I'll definitely trying out with a few video games, try to compare how it used to look like, how it looks like right now. But that is not something that will help me with my productivity. And speaking of productivity, I feel like they just took that away from me, because now what you can do is you can use your Android apps within Windows 11, which means that if you try to take your phone and put it away somewhere far, far away, well, guess what? If you like TikTok, you can still use it. You will be able to use it on your Windows 11. But the way to do that is actually it's been powered by Amazon, which means that in order for you to download Android applications, you will actually need to have Amazon for that. But hey, if you do like TikTok, if you do like to use any other applications, you can do that. And the one thing I'm kind of excited about is to see if can I use that feature for my development purpose whenever it comes to testing. So there's something I'm actually excited about it. So those are new features on Windows 11, and those are my thoughts on those features. And overall, I'm not too excited about them from software engineering perspective, because to me, my PC currently is for development and video creating purpose, which means that none of those features are helping me because, well, I'm not going to be able to use HDR for my coding. In fact, I don't even need to on any of those different group layouts, because there are different applications that you can actually download that do exact same thing. So instead of me downloading the OS, not knowingly if it's good or bad, I'll prefer to use an application that already does that for me. But in my upcoming videos, I will be still upgrading my old laptop. Here again, the specifications of it, the hardware setup, and I'll see you then.